2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio car review. The good points of 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio: sharp steering and precise handling, powerful and exciting engines. Distinctive styling helps it differentiate themselves from the crowd. The bad points of 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio: overly sensitive brake pedal, snug back seat and cargo volume, lower towing capacity than competitors. The 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio new feature: rear-wheel drive base model added. Android Auto Apple CarPlay is standard on all Stelvios. Part with the first Stelvio generation introduced in 2018. Most crossover SUVs trade heavily for their ability to move things and ferry people. The 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio, however, prioritizes the driving experience over such plebeian concerns. It strives to get the driver's pick among premium compact crossover SUVs, vehicles that generally aren't recognized for their dynamic attributes. The Stelvio enters its second model year in 2019. It shares its fundamental platform, engines and trim levels with all the Giulia sedan. It seats 5 such as Giulia, but unlike its sedan stablemate, the Stelvio can be obtained with all-wheel drive. It's a bore to operate a vehicle, with sharp steering and precise handling. The 2.0-litre 4-cylinder engine is desirous to run. The Stelvio gives a pleasant ride quality, too. The Stelvio doesn't pretend to offer off-road capability, and that is actually somewhat refreshing. Instead, it doubles recorded on its power to handle pavement. For example, likely to optional mechanical differential, huge and gorgeous shift paddles, and also a range-topping Quadrifoglio variant that's one in the quickest crossovers you should buy. There are compromises, certainly. The Stelvio gives up some cargo volume and towing capability to its competitors, even though the interior is usually a mixed bag of fabric choices. But if you're seeking a sport-oriented premium crossover, it is one from the best. 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio configurations. The 2019 Alfa Romeo can be a compact all-wheel drive small crossover luxury SUV available in 3 variants, a base Stelvio, a luxury-oriented T and also a high-performance Quadrifoglio. The solidly equipped base and T models feature a turbocharged 2.0-litre inline-four cylinder 280 horsepower, 306 pound-feet of torque with an 8-speed automatic. The Quadrifoglio is usually a different animal entirely, featuring its stiffer suspension tuning, stickier tires and Ferrari drive twin-turbocharged 2.9-litre V6 505 horsepower, 443 lb-ft of torque. The base Stelvio is sold with rear or all-wheel drive, and well equipped with standard features, for example 18-inch wheels, Brembo brakes, xenon headlights, roof rails, an electric liftgate, keyless ignition and entry, dual-zone automatic climate control, ambient interior lighting, leather upholstery, power adjustable front seats and adjustable drive settings. Technology features incorporate a large driver information display, a 6.5-inch central touchscreen, a rear-view camera, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, 4 USB ports, 2 right in front and 2 charge-only ports for rear passengers, as well as an 8-speaker head unit. The T is sold with more standard equipment, including 19-inch wheels, front parking sensors, an 8.8-inch touchscreen, satellite radio, heated front seats along with a heated leader. A sport package, intended for both trims, adds larger diameter wheels, 19 inches for base, 20 inches for your T, different exterior and interior trim, paddle shifters and stiffer suspension tuning. On top of that, the T gains sport front seats with power-adjustable bolsters. A T-specific performance package adds a driver-adjustable adaptive suspension plus a rear mechanical locking limit slip differential, while a T-Lusso package adds upgraded front seats, additional leather upholstery and upgraded interior trim. To maximize safety, have the Driver Assist Dynamic Plus package. It adds adaptive cruise control, automatic high beams, lane departure warning, and forward collision warning with emergency automatic braking. Finally, the Quadrifoglio is sold with much with the above as standard. The Driver Assist Dynamic Plus package is a notable exception. On top of that, it adds its high-performance engine, 20-inch wheels, Brembo brakes, a navigation system, blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, along with a Harman Kardon subwoofer. Trim tested. Each vehicle typically can be purchased in multiple versions that happen to be fundamentally similar. The S with this review provide our full test on the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Turbo 2.0 litres inline-four, 8-speed automatic, AWD. Driving. The Stelvio can be an SUV for folks who love driving. It incorporates a strong and responsive engine, a sporty transmission and engaging handling. It's on the more entertaining SUVs traveling. Acceleration. Power delivery is urgent. In sport mode, the Stelvio can be quite responsive. Around town, you will be hard-pressed to check out a difference between it plus some vehicles with bigger engines. Our as-tested 060 miles per hour use of 5.7 seconds puts the four-cylinder Stelvio within half a second of some heavy hitters. Braking. The Stelvio's brakes are likely to be easy to modulate, with one notable exception. At low speed, brake response might be inconsistent and grabby, highlighting the artificial pedal feel. In our testing, the Stelvio located a stop from 60 miles per hour in a mere 117 feet, and that is good performance for just a crossover. Steering. The steering is direct and accurate, and it also feels naturally weighted with resistance that builds progressively through turns. There's ample feedback to encourage spirited driving. It's a little heavier than some SUVs, however it is appropriate for your sporty Stelvio. On center feel is fairly good. Handling. For a crossover, the Stelvio is rather playful. Body roll is well controlled, and also the chassis is nimble and desperate to turn. It feels similar to a large, sporty hatchback than the usual crossover. Because the suspension skews stiffer, mid-corner bumps is often unsettling. Driveability. The Stelvio is maneuverable and light-footed, even at low speeds. The transmission shifts smoothly and promptly, all of which will hold a gear if you wish it to in spirited driving. In normal mode, it tends to get eager to upshift, but ultimately it's a good companion in traffic and once the road gets fun. Off-road. The Stelvio is included with hill descent control, however it is meant to get driven on road, not off. There's not much clearance, first off, where there are no all-terrain modes, as some SUV competitors have. Comfort. We were thankful for the Stelvio's comfort, especially for any sport-oriented crossover. But the seats involve some shortcomings, the ride is mostly compliant but gets bouncy, and climate control is all too easy to use but fails to deliver in automatic mode. Seat comfort. The Stelvio's seats are sculpted for support, keeping us comfortable for 2 long stints. But they aren't cushy. The leather is about the stiff side, the headrests are brick hard, along with the seat cushions a tad short for 2 longer-legged drivers. Ride comfort. Ride quality is impressive to get a sporty crossover. The Stelvio absorbs sharper bumps and road imperfections while still feeling connected to the street. It can get bouncy, especially on uneven concrete slab freeways. Around town, it's one from the more comfortable sport-oriented crossovers. Noise and vibration. Road and tire noise is muted, especially for just a sporty SUV. Fears some wind noise at freeway speeds. The engine is pleasantly audible under load, however the noise subsides at cruising speeds. Climate control. The manual controls are clearly marked knobs and buttons, which are very easy to understand and straightforward to work with. We were thankful to have that because leaving the machine in automatic often ends up with not enough airflow. Interior. The Stelvio features a good amount of space both front and rear. The controls are clearly marked and all too easy to find, and basic infotainment functions are streamlined nicely. But the settings menus are convoluted. The biggest demerit is poor visibility on account of thick roof pillars. Ease beneficial. The basic controls are clearly marked and an easy task to find, and also the infotainment system works well together with the rotary knob interface. Basic functions are streamlined nicely, though the menu structure for settings and options is convoluted. It's often difficult to locate things. Getting in, jetting out. Access towards the front seat is extremely easy. The floor is pretty low for the SUV, plus the door openings are sufficiently large. Tall passengers will need to duck within the sloping roofline to gain access to the rear seat. The long rear doors make access towards the back difficult in tight parking spaces. Driving position. There's a great variety of possible seating positions thanks on the seat adjustment and sufficiently the telescoping range. The beltline is high enough that you just feel as if you're ensconced in a vehicle rather than perched up high, when you do in many SUVs. Roominess. The interior feels quite roomy, along with the space is accentuated by open design. Front passengers should not have any issues. Rear seat head and legroom are sufficient for almost all adults. Visibility. The Stelvio's roof pillars are thick throughout, which creates visibility issues. The rear quarter view in the shoulder specifically is obstructed, as well as the view over the small rear window is fixed. Fortunately, the big side mirrors renew some from the obstruction. Quality. The doors close, which has a satisfying thunk, but door panels flex being forced. Most touch points are covered with nice materials, though the switchgear feels plasticky. We noticed some creaks and rattles inside cabin coupled with issues with several electronic systems, causing us to concerned about reliability. Utility. Practicality will not be one from the Stelvio's strengths. The cargo space is narrow, and total cargo volume fails to get results of class leaders. There are a number of interior cubbies, but many are smaller than average and of limited usefulness. At least the latch points are very easy to find. Small item storage. The door pockets are narrow but deep, and so they offer enough room for small water bottles. The console, glove box, seat back pockets, and rear door pockets are typically small. The cup holders are awkwardly placed. A tall drink will block having access to a USB port and environmental controls. Cargo space. Loading cargo is simple because from the low floor and lift over, and sliding tie-downs can be purchased. The trunk is deep but narrow, limiting the usability with the space. There are rear seat releases inside the trunk, however you might need to take away the headrests or adjust the top seats so they can fold flat. Child safety seat accommodation. Latch points are clearly marked and simple to access as a result of plastic covers, so that you won't ought to dig around relating to the seat cushions.
Bulkier infant seats will infringe within the front seat's range of flexibility. Technology. What technology the Stelvio has is cleanly integrated, but there is no question it lags behind your competitors. A good adaptive cruise system and high-quality stereo aside, it's clear that technology isn't Stelvio's forte. If you want all of the bells and whistles, look elsewhere. Audio and navigation. The Harman Kardon speakers is quite good, along with the audio system is simple to control. However, the navigation strategy is simplistic and supplies fewer functions than competitors' offerings. The graphics are basic, there's no search by name or live traffic display. Smartphone integration. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are actually standard for 2019. Oddly, Bluetooth also has a surprisingly period of time to boot up if your car commences. In our testing, we also had issues accessing music on phones via USB. Driver aids. Adaptive cruise works smoothly, and both blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert did wonders. The backup camera display is incredibly small. The various warning beeps are disruptively loud. When forward collision alert is triggered, it tightens the brakes, making for abrupt stops. Voice control. The voice controls are fast and limited. The help function is annoying, displaying only some commands on screen, and reciting others out loud. It's also susceptible to misunderstanding, which made basic functions like changing stereo an exercise in frustration.